Welcome back to your favorite video game podcast, Pseudo Ludo. We're mixing things up today. I am your host, Nick, and I am joined by Tim and Brian. Say hello, guys.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, Nick, I'm glad to hear from you today. Brian, I'm glad to hear from you today. How you doing?
All right, we got a very important episode here today where we talk about the new game from Devolver Digital, Fall Guys. Came out on August 4th for PC and PlayStation. But first, Tim, what have you been doing?
What have I been doing? I've just been playing Fall Guys. No, I've been playing some Ghost of Tsushima as well. Haven't beaten the story yet. I think we're all still... I think Brian beat the story maybe, but I have not. I'm on the third act of the game, so I assume I'm pretty close to done. But then Fall Guys came out and stole my heart. Have not been back to that. Yeah.
Brian, how have you been doing?
Same situation, except I beat Ghost and I'm eerily close to the platinum. Murph is shaking. And then, yeah, Fall Guys last night. But other than that, Ghost. But I have, the only thing I have left is the collectibles. So
You do all the Fox dens?
yeah, I did everything except for the artifacts and records. So I should be able to get the plat in like an hour, but I haven't been playing it since Fall Guys. So
You hate to see it.
Tim, I hate how every week you forget to mention Overwatch.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Overwatch is in the mix from time to time. Nick and I have been playing that. Been doing some roll queue, Got to get that support
Roll queues
SR up.
definitely superior. Here's something I don't understand, Tim. Right now, my open queue SR is less than 1300, but for roll queue, my tank is 19, my DPS is 21, and my healing is 22, which is where I should be. I'm just a gold player, but how do I get that low?
I think it's just because in open queue, it's all just people that leave the game every time and stuff. At least at that level, You're talking about elo hell.
Yeah,
I don't
sucks.
know if there's any other explanation, or you really like the comfort of knowing what your role is and it makes you play better.
That could also be true.
I don't know. You just know you're a support and you just have to be a support.
Yeah, it keeps you in the right frame of mind all match. That's a good point, Tim.
Yeah. It nuzzles you. It comforts you. You're where you're meant to be. You're not just gonna randomly switch to Winston when you see a Symmetra. You're not gonna freak out. You're gonna just be Lucio. You're gonna keep healing.
Yeah, but
That's
Winston's
it's gonna
cool.
be okay. He's okay.
I mean, he's okay. He's cool.
I don't think he's cool.
Wow.
I think he's
Hate to see that.
low tier level of coolness for an Overwatch character. Hot take, probably.
Hate to see that.
He's fine. I don't have he's just wouldn't go out of my way to say he's cool.
No, we're done with that before I even get more frustrated with you.
Don't get me angry.
Right before we get into the main topic of our first impressions of Fall Guys, Tim, how about you run us through the news?
Oh man, okay, so we've got a decent amount of news on the docket today. All right, so let's just start off first with some Call of Duty updates. We've got Warzone Season 5 out now. Train has arrived at the train station. The stadium is now open, really.
Yeah.
Wow. So you can
Ready
go inside.
It reminded me of Last of Us 2, how they had the little camp set up in that whatever stadium that was.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that.
Okay, interesting. And there's going to be tight integration with 2020 COD and between that and Warzone.
yeah, what does
So
that
that's
even
interesting.
mean? Because the Black Ops and Modern Warfare games have fundamentally different gameplay. The way they shoot and everything, it's not the same.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to tie in. I think it's just going to be
They'll
they're
have
going to.
another map or something.
Yeah, they're probably going to advertise each other. There's going to be a link on the.
I'm sure they're going to
Black Ops home.
If they were going to do
homepage.
that from the beginning, why didn't they just continue with Blackout?
which is better.
Blackout is the way better than Warzone.
It must have just been something about Infinity Ward being more willing to support it on an ongoing situation, and Treyarch wasn't. I think Treyarch is Black Ops.
Treyarch?
Yeah.
Treyarch?
Treyarch. Interesting.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think I've heard that spoken aloud, but that makes more sense.
It might be Treyarch. I don't know.
Oh, look at you judging before you.
I
even know
literally
for
just
sure.
said it because you said
you
I
know.
don't know if it's Treyarch and then you were saying something else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Back up.
That's okay,
back
Brian.
up.
Put him down like you should.
Back up. Can you add the Nicolas Cage back up soundbite? Whoever's editing this.
Back up! I swear to God I won't shoot you!
Well, now let's get into some Sony news. So first of all, on the PlayStation blog, we got an update for Crystal Dynamics Avengers game. And this has been pretty
world on fire, bro.
Yeah, it's been pretty controversial. So, Spider-Man is coming to Marvel's Avengers exclusively on PlayStation. Now, this is interesting for a lot of reasons. First of all, he's the biggest Marvel hero of all time. He's also the coolest. He's also my favorite. Second of all, there's a very, very successful Spider-Man PS4 game, and we're not sure yet if this is going to be the same canonical hero.
No, it's
but
not.
They said it's gonna. The language they use makes it sound like it's not going to be. I'm assuming there's going to be a skin for that hero, though.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a skin, but I read that it was not.
It kind of would be a good way to explain where Peter is during Miles Morales, like if he's off doing whatever the Avengers are doing, you know.
No, he just decided to tap out on that one.
Yeah, he went on vacation, but yeah. So people are pretty frustrated that this is going to be walled behind one console on a presumably cross-platform, cross-play game. And I, for one, also understand I understand the anger towards this. I mean, it's probably just it couldn't have gone any other way. Do you know what I mean? Like, with Sony's relationship to Spider-Man and Sony owning the Spider-Man license, I don't really see how they would have. It would have been really cool of them to let it be used everywhere. But that's
a baller move, flexing their muscles.
It's not really though. It's just because that's a huge character, and
and it's theirs.
Yeah, but it's the thing I don't understand. I think it's a weird decision from Crystal Dynamics because I think it's just a very alienating decision. Like, why wouldn't you just not have him in the game? But people weren't mad about this, the Insomniac Spider-Man game, were they? I feel like everybody was hyped about it.
I heard there was rumblings, but it made more sense just because Sony was paying for the game, and Sony, you know what I mean? It was their property, not their developer, but
I think this
the
is a pretty nothing story because Sony's been doing this for a while. They did it with Call of Duty. That Spec Ops was exclusive to PlayStation for a year, or Spec Ops Survival, and I think it's stingy, but don't get the game.
I wouldn't
if you really, because I think the bigger problem is this game looks like it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I personally don't even plan on playing this game. From what I've seen, it looks like garbage.
The impressions are very worrying.
Yeah. And another thing is, it's just weird how this, if it's gonna just be such a bright line between the amazing gameplay of Marvel's PS4 Spider-Man versus however he plays in this. I'm assuming not the same and not as well. That's gonna be a nice comparison to see. See the character model, see the move sets and all that. And
it's just a shame that this game is a weird looter shooter, basically that type of thing. Why can't they just make a fun single player set piece Avengers game with this voice cast and these characters, and then not do all this Destiny bullshit? It's so fucking annoying. There's so many of these games already. What kind of marketplace do you think you're even getting into?
They're gonna get a huge amount of players, probably.
You think this will be really popular?
Dude, just the name alone is gonna make it super popular. But as to how long the legs are, and if it ends up being profitable, I don't know, because it sounds like it's gonna be terrible. So,
I don't see this.
If they did this model and they did it adequately, and it played well enough, then I think it would be very, very successful. But if they're literally gonna bomb, then it's a waste of the license to do that.
I think there's a public beta. I'll probably try that out if there is.
Yeah.
But.
So it's I don't like this style of game, especially with these characters, and I'd much rather have a single player game like you described,
or just a split.
But also,
co-op or something, or online.
I would also play it if it was good, but it sounds like it's not going to be. So.
But I'm also of the mind of I prefer shorter single player things anyway. So what do I know?
Yeah. I just don't because it's kind of a race to the bottom where you look at this gameplay that they're showing and it looks like it's ripped right out of Clash of Clans or some other type of mobile game. Raid Shadow Legends, not a sponsorship, guys.
Not yet.
Sorry,
yeah,
not yet.
Not yet.
Hit us up though. We want that money.
After
we'll Yeah, we will turn right around as soon as the money's coming into our hands.
Hey guys, I don't play many mobile RPGs, but let me tell you about this.
Yeah, so it's just like a race to the bottom when they start adopting these policies. And I think we can get more into that when we talk about Game Pass later on in the show, because I think that also contributes to this devaluation of the product itself at the, just trying to gobble up market share at all costs.
It's way more of a product than art or entertainment. Like it's just like a mall or something. With these, like it literally is games as a service. Like it's literally like you're going to the barber or something. Like you're paying for. It's not even like fun. Like you have to pay for everything, and I don't like it.
Up next, PlayStation 5 answering your questions on compatible PS4 peripherals and accessories. So we got a blog post at the PlayStation blog. I guess that's self-explanatory. Yeah, so it just details like kind of which peripherals are going to work with next gen. Probably the biggest news to take from this is that the DualShock 4 is not going to work for PS5 games. And this doesn't come as a huge shock to me because it does seem like DualSense is the biggest departure so far from the PlayStation model. And even when there weren't huge departures, like you couldn't use a PS2 controller on the PS3, you can't use a PS3 on the PS4.
Yeah.
So this isn't news to me, but in light of just the kind of softer generational leap that Microsoft's doing, I think a lot of people are kind of disappointed that you're not going to be able to bring your controller over. It does seem a little arbitrary if like you just want to use it for, okay, like maybe I'm not playing, some AAA first party game and I don't need all these extra features and I just want to play like, I just want to play Gang Beasts or like a racing game with my friends or something. I see the frustration of like having to buy 4 new controllers, but also they're just, obviously they're going to try and sell you all this hardware again. That's
obviously, I think it's probably just part of the development of the games now. They have to develop it with the new controller systems in mind, like the haptic feedback and the whatever the
the first
adaptive
few
triggers
games are going to be really gimmicky with that.
How many third-party games use like the light bar or the touchpad on?
It's probably not many, but I mean,
people are just frustrated that you can't have the option for third-party games, probably
you never have had that option.
No, that's what I'm saying. But people, so Microsoft announced that you can use the. So it's just a contrast that is
their approach
people.
is just completely different.
Yeah, it's it's whatever. I guess it's just I'm just used to it, and I'm fine with it personally. But I can understand where other people are coming from. If they don't have as much money to spend on this hardware every time.
I understand if you are a predominantly split screen multiplayer gamer, but I would imagine that's a very small portion of people.
Yeah, that's a bad decade for you.
Yeah, there's not even a lot of games that have split screen.
No, not anymore. So yeah, I would imagine most people only need 1 or 2 controllers nowadays, which that's a travesty in its own right. Bring back couch
I'm
co-op,
all in
guys.
for couch co-op. I would rather
let's bring it back.
Let's bring it back every week than multiplayer online.
There should be more games like A Way Out.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because it's harder sometimes to get together for couch co-op, but a game like that's split screen co-op, you could play in party chat.
You can do couch though, which is cool.
Yeah, you could, but
I know
having the option to play it online is a nice little bit there.
No, yeah, for sure. I'm not saying get rid of it completely. I'm just saying I wish that there was more options for couch co-op. I enjoy those types of experiences more.
I definitely agree.
People aren't getting booted from the party from network errors, and the shit talk is more pointed.
Yeah.
It is. You can be more vicious and direct.
Tim, do you remember freshman year when we played Madden and I beat you 109-9?
Yeah, do you remember when you were winning, by admittedly a large amount, and I helped you get to 100 by turning it over on purpose?
I was probably up like 50 anyway. But
you were. It was an outstanding lead, enough to convince me to just let you get to 100.
I'll give you some credit though, because I remember your 9 points came from a touchdown and a safety, not 3 field goals. Just so the audience knows.
Let them know. I'm not a chump. I always go for it. You can't kick a field goal in Madden. Are you kidding me? What is this?
You can if you want to win.
Yeah, Nick's the type of guy that actually runs the clock out. Instead of like calling ridiculous plays when he's up, he just runs. He does a nice kneel.
It's a nice teabag,
All right, so up next, we have an announcement from Xbox. and they are announcing Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is coming to Android phones on September 15th, and you'll be able to play over 100 Xbox games from your phone. What do you guys think about this? It's clear that they're, Brian, I think you were mentioning this is like a whole different type of strategy from what Sony is doing with PlayStation, and it's very forward thinking. It's clear they're trying to do what Netflix does for TV shows. They just kind of want to be on your credit card bill every month. Like, they don't really care about selling you a console. They don't care about selling you a specific game. All their games are going to this service. And, you know, obviously everybody is fanatic about this service right now because you can get in for $1. It has all these games you can play for free. All these new next-gen games are coming to it for free, you know, other than your monthly payment. But the problem is, it's not always going to be this way. Netflix, at the very beginning, had every show, every movie you could think of under the sun. It was all on Netflix. And then every other company started catching on and started pulling it and doing their own shows. And now, streaming services are basically like paying a cable bill. If you want everything, you have to subscribe to everything again. So I kind of see it being sort of a, you know, short term, they're getting a huge market share at the cost of churning out games for no profit on the front end. And once they've gobbled up all the market share, obviously this amazing deal that we have now is not going to be the case anymore. We're going to have, I'm sure, less games on the service. It's probably going to cost more, things like that. So it's kind of a race to the bottom in my mind. And it's, you know, everyone's kind of applauding them, but I don't really like where this is headed because it just cheapens every game, because they're not going to be making games like The Last of Us, games like Spider-Man, games like God of War. Eventually, it's going to be like the Netflix made content where they only make a couple seasons of some, you know, mediocre show and then move on to the next thing. I don't know. What do you guys think?
To be fair, Netflix does have a lot of very good movies on it that they produce themselves, but
but when they put out 1,000 of them a day, some of them are bound to hit.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. But I'm saying they like team up with like extremely talented filmmakers that can't get funding elsewhere. But I know what you're saying, and I agree. And I don't see, I get that it's consumer friendly, but to me it really is not like a model that I really like, because I don't like having shit on my credit card bill every month. Like, I like to really be kind of careful with the amount of things I'm subscribing to if I'm not using. And every time I've ever gotten Game Pass, I end up like barely playing anything on it, and then it's just exactly like what you were saying, it's just on my bill.
Right. It's that store paralysis where you have access to everything and suddenly you don't know what to do. You don't know what to play. Too many options.
Yeah.
It also just, I think it just devalues all the games on there, because you know, you're no longer paying $60 for Halo or for any of this. It's
and you get real ADD on it. Like, you download 8 games and just bounce around, and like you never really like play any of them.
Yeah. So we'll see how it shakes out, and this is clearly just a wildly different strategy from Sony, where, you know, it's not even called, it's like Game Pass. Like, they want it to be Netflix. They want it to be a synonymous, like, with just streaming everywhere. They want it to be on PC, on phones. They would probably put it on PS5 if they could, I bet.
Yeah, they would.
But obviously that'll never happen in, you know, the near future. We'll see.
I just don't know. Like, the thing to me, like, I get if you're excited for this if you are not a fan of consoles, but like, as somebody who loves the hype of a console generation and stuff, like, this is totally like derailing the Series X hype to me. Like, I cannot think of a reason to get a Series X, even if I wanted
to. There's no practical reason right now.
There really isn't one.
Like, they don't even have a launch exclusive that's worth getting, and then also all these games are going to be on Xbox and PC and your phone. It's like, why are they even making another console instead of just putting all their eggs into Game Pass?
Right. This might be their final console. I wouldn't be surprised, unless they do iterative updates the way a phone does updates or something like that. But I don't see them.
Yeah, I'm way more excited for PS5. It's not even close.
Yeah.
I'm also a Sony guy to begin with, but like, it's just my excitement lines up way more with the model that they're putting forth versus Xbox.
Yeah.
Which I recognize that Xbox is more consumer friendly, but
right now,
I agree with your.
I think it's very consumer friendly. If somebody, like, you know, a friend of mine that doesn't play games wants to try out a bunch of games, that's what you could recommend them. But I don't think it's market friendly in the long term. I think it's going to erode the value of the market. But
Yeah, can you imagine if like EA, Ubisoft, Activision, like they all have their own?
exactly, and I mean, there's already things like that with at least with Ubisoft and
EA.
and EA.
Wait, does Ubisoft have one?
Yeah, they do of some type. I don't know exactly what it's called.
Like, imagine you couldn't even buy games; like you just had to subscribe to one of those.
And that's the problem. That's the problem that we might get at some point. We may get there where you're gonna have all these subscriptions, and you can't just say, "Oh, I want this one game. I don't want this monthly service. I just want to buy this one game." So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it in the long run. Because I'm trying to look beyond. Maybe it's because I'm not an Xbox fan that I don't have like rose-colored glasses for this, but I'm trying to just look beyond this $1 entry where it's clearly like Microsoft got slaughtered last generation, absolutely demolished, and this is like kind of a throwing a lot of money into just buying the marketplace and just having that.
They're buying back goodwill too.
Yeah, goodwill, and having a huge amount of people using Xbox again. So we'll see how it shakes out, but.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see the two strategies put next to each other because they are so different.
Yeah.
So just from a business perspective, it's really interesting to see.
Yeah, I agree.
But from a fan perspective, I'm trying to get PS5. I just feel like it's not even good for competition to have these like Game Pass and these types of things, and there'll be less and less quality games. It'll be way more like games as a service.
And it is going to eventually erode what drives developers when they're making games. What are we aiming to set out to make? I'm not saying it's happening right now with games that are still being made for consumer sales as individual units, but eventually down the line, the type of games that will be made are going to focus more on, let's get this out the door so we can get it on Game Pass, and our money comes from just getting streams, getting people playing it on Game Pass. It's not coming from individual sales. Maybe, the critical reviews don't matter as much because people aren't discerning whether or not to drop $60 on it. We just have to get them to download it, Yeah. And that may lead to more like clickbaity style, Fortnite looking clones, those types of things. Who knows? I maybe I'm just being an old man here, but I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens.
The next piece of news, there's a tweet from Halo, and it said that Halo is for everyone, and they are confirming that the Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play and will support 120 FPS on the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, this is quite something. Free to play this kind of just leads back into this like whole different strategy type of thing. And I don't know, what do you guys think of this? I think it makes sense, honestly.
I just don't like this at all. It's gonna end up turning into Fortnite and these types of things.
Yeah, what have they said about a battle royale? I keep hearing
there's going to be a battle royale, or whatever. I think it's going to be a spin on it. I don't think it's going to be a straight up Fortnite Apex clone, but I'm sure something.
And it seems like they're positioning this to just be this.
Oh
is
yeah,
Halo now.
I don't think there's going to be
infinite, meaning there's not going to be more.
Correct. I don't think there's going to be a Halo.
I hate that so much.
Yeah, that's just what they're doing now. It's just going to be a platform. It's going to be a Destiny. Like Destiny wants to roll Destiny 2 back and just be called Destiny. I think they probably realized it was a mistake to ever.
But it worked. Like I get it for Destiny because that's always what that's been.
Right.
Like Halo is a thing that exists in a different capacity, and then now they're making it this. Like just make something new, or like I don't know.
It's a financially successful model, and they're going to try to capitalize on it.
Yeah, but it's infuriating. It just totally devalues the product. Like it's such a business move. Like it's so clear they don't care about. Well, the fact that they're still even making Halo games is pretty indicative of the attitude that they hold towards their IP and Gears of War. And it's just like they don't. It's just so businessy, and it's. Yeah, I get that they have to make money.
Bunch of suits calling the shots.
It is like it. I love Halo. The first 3 Halos are like some of my favorite games, and I have such fond memories of playing all those games, like being younger and all that. And it just sucks that I feel like this is going to become just another generic, free, open multiplayer game, like with seasons and yada yada yada. Like how many more of these can they make before no one's playing any of them? Like there's just so many of them. I don't understand. But alas.
Yeah, and that's where you get to the free to play. It just immediately opens your player base up tenfold.
So what are you paying for the campaign?
Yeah.
Just like $60 for the campaign?
I guess so.
That's not even worth it.
Well, it's going to be on Game Pass. You don't pay anything.
Oh, Christ. I'm out. Get me out of here. Send me to Ghost of Tsushima. I want to be with Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bum and I'm out of touch, but I like buying my games and beating them and then going to the next one in a few months.
Yeah.
But, you know.
As much as I enjoy that single player experience, it's clear that there is a huge market for these other ongoing games like what we're seeing: Fortnite, Apex, now Call of Duty.
I mean, I get it for certain games, but I can't. To me, it doesn't make sense to just do it for everything because eventually there's not going to be anybody left that wants to play these new games. Like, I get it for Call of Duty because Call of Duty is the biggest game like ever, and it's working really well for them. And I don't know, this just doesn't seem like the right play to me for Halo. But we'll see. I'm sure I'll play it and like it, but it's a little worrying for me.
The next thing in the news, the last thing we have today, is that the next PlayStation State of Play is coming on Thursday, August... Fuck, what day is it? Next State of Play is coming on Thursday, August 6th, and it is supposed to be focusing on the PS4 and PSVR games, with a couple of check-ins on some indie stuff that was shown in the June PS5 showcase. What do you guys think about this? I think it's pretty interesting that they're kind of like backpedaling towards PS4, PSVR, and avoiding PS5 once again.
It's got to be COD, right?
Yeah,
New COD.
COD is a pretty good bet, actually. I hadn't thought of that, but it would make sense if they have a marketing deal with Activision and they need to fulfill it through a State of Play or something to kind of just get that out of the way before they get hot and heavy with PS5 news.
It's so funny
good
how
thinking.
transparent they're being. Like, there is no PS5. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, I kind of appreciate it. I wouldn't want to
No, I love it.
go in not knowing what's going to happen and then not get any PS5 news.
It
I'd be
just
mad.
cracks
Yeah,
me up,
they're
though,
like
here.
they're like begging you to not get excited.
Yeah.
Like, please do not get excited about this.
And then there'll be like dudes on the subreddit like they're just trying to.
They said no big PS5 announcements.
Yeah. What about Dark Souls?
Oh man, Elden Ring. I'm already on the hype train. Let's go.
that they're on the Microsoft marketing though, so
Coming only to Game Pass.
well, that'd be a one-way ticket for me to be on Game
Yeah,
Pass. train.
how to get me to Game Pass in one step.
one simple.
Do you think
step.
there's going to be any sort of deal announced for PSVR? Any sort of, I don't know, cost cutting or
Discount
future
probably.
PSVR endeavors?
No, that's a good point. If they announced the next PSVR, that'd be pretty wild. I doubt it though. Probably just a cost cut.
Now would be the perfect time with everything that's going on in the world to have the VR sports game like packages that we mentioned super early on in our show's history. No one, like, fans aren't allowed at games anymore, and if you're telling me I could be at a NFL game this fall in VR and watch it from the 50-yard line 5 rows up, I would definitely be in on that. That'd be really fun.
I do want to like experiment with it and see, like, because I've never played a VR game, like, just to see how immersive it really is or how unique the gameplay design can get. But unless I find like a really good deal on it, I'm gonna wait until whatever the next model is.
It's actually kind of crazy that it hasn't happened yet, honestly.
They might not be releasing
Every
it.
league doesn't have fans.
They might not be releasing it with the PS5 launch. It may come like a year later or something.
Oh yeah, I doubt it's coming with the PS5.
So that's about it for the news for this week. Are you guys ready to talk about Fall Guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So this show's topic is just a nice review of this neat little game that we got for free on PS Plus.
So to put it simply, I would say it's a platformy party game battle royale with cute little bean guys. Would you
Kind of
guys
just like
agree?
Battle Royale Mario Party.
Yeah, that's
Would be my-
a
yeah,
very
that's-
succinct way to put it.
You don't like platformy
And
party game battle
rambling.
royale?
This dude
You
just-
don't like that one?
I like that one second out of the two options that were presented.
Hey, second's pretty good.
That is pretty good, Nick. Congrats, silver medal.
Yeah, it's pretty good in Fall Guys. You'll get through the qualifications. Yeah, so the game is kind of styled after, like not Ninja Warrior, but like Knockout and all those games. those like game showy type things where there's giant balls flying out. Wipeout. Yeah, exactly. I don't think Knockout is actually a game, but it leads to a lot of very comical situations. It just came out yesterday, but we've been playing together, and it's been a lot of fun to play with your friends. That's one great thing is that you're just lobbied up with your friends.
Tim and I played for, like 5 or 6 hours yesterday, Tim?
Yeah, probably.
On launch, which is kind of nuts if you think about it. But the gameplay itself consists of like 3 basic game modes. There's races, survival, and team games. And team games are by far the worst games, but there's a handful of each option. I actually played a couple matches before we started recording here, and I got the final one that I hadn't played yet. Was a team game.
Oh, the Infection?
Yeah, I finally got that.
Would you? That one sucks. I don't like that one at all.
Nah, that one's way better than like soccer.
Oh, I just don't think you have any control.
Stop the soccer slander.
Yeah, I don't mind soccer, honestly.
Soccer's lit.
I'm getting better at it.
Soccer is the bottom tier, honestly. It might be the worst.
No, the tail ones are way worse than the soccer. Get out of here.
Yeah, he's right.
The tail ones are definitely the worst.
If this was a more competitive game, I may be angry at the forced randomness of being in a team battle and not being able to toggle that off. But since it's all just like played for laughs, basically, and it's just like
it's all lighthearted.
It's
fun.
so lighthearted
that
I'm not really invested enough in it to like actually be like, oh, devs, why aren't you fixing that? You know what I mean? It's like it's just like a chill, laid back type of game. You know, it's not like esport level control or anything like that, so I'm not really expecting anything to come for that. It has been interesting to see how the meta kind of develops, so you can already see strategies. Strategies have already been forming around like the optimal route to get through a certain, what are they called? Like level, I guess.
Shows. I think they're shows.
Stage.
Or episodes.
Yeah.
I think each one is called
episodes,
an episode.
I think it might be all of it.
No, I think
the
a show is what you win at the end, and an episode is every.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right. But it was nice that we were, over the course of our time playing yesterday, we were creating our own narrative with the people that were dressed up in pineapple costumes and like how people were treating players on the yellow team whenever that would come up. And then today, when Tim sent the subreddit to us in one of our group chats, every single person was just like bashing on the yellow team, and the pineapples really are chaotic.
Yeah,
they are their own team.
Yeah, it's kind of wasn't there an outfit in Fortnite that was very similar? Like when you saw
John Wick.
No, well, John Wick was like the fear-inducing one.
That was different.
I feel like there was someone like when you saw like was it like a shark themed or something? I don't know.
I don't know, but pineapples are the agents of chaos. Every single match, there's always a pineapple waving at the finish line. I don't know what that's
it's really
about.
weird. They're very organized.
Yeah, they do have some kind of agenda that no one has gotten to the bottom of yet. I'm not a big fan.
I like it though.
I'm kind of afraid. It's a little unsettling. But yeah, it is also funny that it seems like the yellow team loses way more often on these team games. I don't know why that primary color is specifically hated on, but we felt it the first night, and everyone on the internet seems to agree. So I'm pretty proud of us for being so perceptive there. Except for Brian, he's colorblind.
Yeah, I don't have eyes.
So, if you want, I can read through each of the maps for each section, like each type of game.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about doing that. That's a good idea. Let's go through and kind of just give our quick takes on each one, I would say.
Just do big in and out.
Yeah, for each one. Maybe a little description of what it is if necessary.
That will probably be necessary.
I'm just going to read the little description that it says with the game so that it's as vague as possible. First, in the race section, I'm going to do all the races. You have Dizzy Heights, race across the spinning platforms to reach a finish line. I like this one.
I'm big in on this one. Big in. I'm always top 5. This is my best course.
Course.
Yeah, it is really fun because all you got to do is go to the left. We developed them. Tim and I created the meta.
Yeah, you know how
this one's really good. Big in.
You know how in like the Olympics,
I wasn't able to picture it until you said that.
The Olympic swimming, there's like there's like the 200, like the 500. Like this is like my specialty. This is where I'm always gonna win the gold. You know, I'm always in the fight.
The next is Hit Parade. Dodge between obstacles as you race to the finish line.
I don't recall what this one is.
I think this is
the one that shoots shit at you.
I think this is the one with the big wrecking balls, like the the path of wrecking balls.
I feel like I like every race.
Yeah, the race ones are generally
all the
pretty
races
fun.
are fun.
In general. I like those.
The next up is Seesaw. Balance across the rows of seesaws to reach the finish line. This
Big
one
in. This is a good one.
is really funny. Big in.
Yeah,
Super tilting, pun intended.
very chaotic. If you're not first on the seesaw, you may never get across it because everyone will just keep filtering and keeping it tilted so that you can't walk across it. You'll always fall. It's very rage-inducing, but also very funny.
You could be at the very end and like not get anywhere for 5 minutes and then still qualify because people just can't get past it sometimes. Next up is DoorDash. Avoid the fake doors as you race to the finish line.
This one's also great. Big in.
This is always like a good starter because it's all about the group think.
Yeah.
You got to sit back. The strat, though, is to sit back a little bit, let someone else go up, and bounce off a fake door first so you can go to the real one. But it's really funny watching all these little things flood in through a small gap.
Yeah, that's hilarious regardless of the level. Seeing like 50 of these things like on top of each other, like trying so hard to get ahead. It's really funny.
Next up is Gate Crash. Dodge through the moving doors as you race to the finish line.
This is also a big in for me.
This is big.
Already a classic.
Yeah, this is weird because when we were playing with our party of 3, this one came up every now and again, but when we added a 4th guy to our party, this for some reason was the only starting game that came up in the rotation. So we play this a ton.
Yeah, quite odd.
I don't know if it's like a balancing thing or if it was just...
It had to be some
I don't know what
kind.
was going
Yeah,
on.
we got stuck in some kind of playlist. I don't really know, but that's also that's a big in. It's an in for me. I'm never excited to see it. I think just because we played it so much, but it is really fun. I think I just got tired of it.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
Next up is Tiptoe. Avoid the fake tiles and find the hidden path to the finish line.
I hate this.
This one is crazy.
I love this one.
Everyone's on like... When you find the path, everyone's all bunched up on like a single tile waiting, trying to push people onto the next one to see if it's real or not.
gets-
This
It's
one's
really
gonna
funny.
get people on Xanax prescriptions.
It gets
man.
so
I don't
crazy
like this
when
one.
there are like 3 tiles left until the finish line, and everybody is waiting for somebody to figure out which the next one is. But obviously, if you are the one that checks it, you're not gonna. There's a good chance you fall and you're not gonna make it in time.
But
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
great.
you
Like
start over, you're
you
not
want to
gonna
be
win.
second place. You don't want to be first. But the rush when people do finally see the path, like this wave of players just washes over, and you gotta just hold on for dear life and not get knocked off the stage. That's a great. I think it's hilarious. It's also very like social experimenty because it's like nobody's like trying to trailblaze and go first, but then it also rewards you. Like sometimes there's like one time I won because there was like halfway through it turned into a straight line. Like it was like windy, and then I just ran in a straight line and it worked.
what I did earlier today that worked out really well for me was I led the charge at first, so I found like the first 3 tiles randomly, but then I fell, and then that's what everyone crowded on, and they blazed the path most of the way, and I was able to sit back a little bit until the time to strike happened.
Yeah. That one's a lot of fun. What's up next?
Yeah. They got Whirligig. Dodge spinning beams, hammers, and fans as you race to the finish line.
This is the one.
one's
This
great.
is the one with the meta. I thought.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I-
Actually, yeah, you're
Because
right.
I like the other one for
Oh
the.
no! What did I give a big in? to,
No,
Nick?
you
What did
like
you
that
give?
one. It has spinny plates.
Spinny plates, and if you fall down, there's those
Yeah,
other
but what was the other one?
spinny
No,
plates.
that was the other one.
Oh, that's the other
yeah,
one.
this one is the one.
Yeah.
It
this
has
is-
the fans and it has the giant fan in the
this
middle.
one I'm big in.
Yeah,
on
big
this
in
one.
on this one too.
The other one
Th-
might be in.
This
it.
one's really funny too. That one really fast fan blade is always messes me up before you go out to like the 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
It really wrecks you. You get hit, because then you bounce off the bouncy walls, and then you're just in like a blender of bouncing back towards the fan blade and off the bouncy wall. It's really funny. Next is Slime Climb. Outrun a rising pool of slime as you race through obstacles to the finish line. This is stressful.
No, this one's also great. I like
it's
how
great,
this one
but
you
it's
die,
stressful.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there was more of that.
It'll-
It adds a lot.
It'll
of
say
tension.
like 0 of 20 qualified. This is what happened when I was playing before we got on here. Is it was like whatever 0 of 20 qualified, and I was like last. The slime was right on my butt.
On your what?
It was right on my tail. And I was, taking it slow. I was being very precise with my movements, but I was going past all the obstacles, and I got to the top, and there was only 3 of us that finished out of the possible 20 that could qualify.
That's incredible. This one I'm really bad at. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. This one's definitely one of the harder ones.
Yeah.
And then the last race option is the beach scene from Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, this is the best one for sure.
The fruit chute. Dodge falling fruit as you race up a conveyor belt to the finish line. This one, the conveyor belts are going against your movement, so they're going back towards the start, but you fall off the back, and then there's just constant giant apples and watermelons and bananas and berries and strawberries rolling down this thing at you, and it really is just like a grind to get to the top.
This one's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like seeing them just fly at you. Like the scope of it is really entertaining because they look huge.
They're so big.
And sometimes you can get through without getting hit, and then other times you just get bodied the entire time and like don't get up. I'm big in.
That's it for I'm big in on that one. Well, that's it for the races. Next is the survival modes. There's only 5 of these ones. The first one, I don't think we played often, maybe a couple times last night, was Jump Club. Jump over the spinning beam and avoid falling off.
Yeah, I like this one. It's very simple, and it's like the most realistic in terms of what you'd actually see on Wipeout, that show, where it's just like a beam that's like spinning around in a circle in a clock shape.
But there's another beam above it that's like slightly slower.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't play this one much at all.
This one goes until a certain number are eliminated, which I like because it encourages you to also attack people, because it's really easy to jump over it. I think it's more about like making people, like forcing people to fight a little bit, which I like. I'm always down for a little brawl. Yeah, and that's that.
I'll be in on that one.
You're in?
I didn't get enough experience.
I'm big in because it's a rare quantity right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say big in. That's a good one.
I want to get in there.
Really brightens the day when you see that on the load screen.
Yeah, I want to get in there and throw people around.
This is one that I suck at. It's rollout. Move between rotating rings to avoid falling off.
Yeah, this one's also great. This game is really good, huh? Every single one.
Yeah,
This
I've loved so
good. It's so fun.
Now, once we get into the
there's a couple
of some hate.
Yeah, just here's that there's a couple of tubes basically, and you're on one that's going one direction, and then the next one over is going the opposite direction. And there's holes and obstacles, and you got to jump back and forth.
Yeah, this one is really cool. I love this one.
This is like a classic, like Mario Party type of thing.
Yeah,
I feel like I've played this in like 10
it's like
games.
A spinning log, simple, and you gotta.
But effective.
Yeah, I just love that you can grab people and throw it. And shout out to Gang Beasts, where this gameplay was like even more detailed with like controlling each individual hand and stuff, because it really reminds me.
So funny.
I wish that game was like this big, because it really is so fun with
Yeah, if Gang Beasts still had like the classic Gang Beasts, but added this stuff.
Yeah.
That would be
just like that level of combat and like climbing and stuff, but with massively online multiplayer. Oh, like the truck level in Gang Beasts. The elevator? Are you kidding me? So good.
The meat grinder.
So good. Oh man, if you guys, if any of you haven't played Gang Beasts and you're listening to this, go give it a quick Google. I really would recommend it to anyone who wants a hilarious,
hearty laugh
local multiplayer.
Tim, should I buy it after this so you can play?
I didn't know you didn't have it. Yeah, you definitely should buy it.
I've only played it on both of yours.
Yeah, Brian, you have it, right? And I have it, so
yeah. I keep that thing
I'm
installed.
pretty sure
Never know when I'm gonna need to toss somebody in front of a
I think I got it on sale at one point. I'm gonna make sure I have it, but we should definitely download that sometime.
Maybe I'll go buy it after this episode. But the next up is Perfect Match.
We completely tangented over to a different game that's very similar.
Classic.
Next
Classic
up,
Pseudo Ludo
Next
content,
up, though.
Next
up,
Nick.
though.
No, Nick.
Next up,
Nick.
next up, though. Next up,
Nick.
next up,
Nick.
though.
Nick 2 out now.
This is devolving into...
Murph, would you be able to replace Nick's voice completely with Knack using some sort of deepfake software?
I don't know, Nick. What do you think? Do you think I'd be able to do that?
Can do. Let's take this to the garden. There's a bit more room.
Next up is Perfect Match. Match the icon on the screen to avoid falling. This is just a nice memorization game. shows you a couple of fruits on the ground, tiles, and then after some time, it shows you one on the big screen. You got to stand on the right tile, or else you fall down. This is the ultimate groupthink, in my opinion. Because even if you don't memorize it, you just go to whatever tile the most people are standing on, and they're usually right.
Yeah, I usually don't even try to guess. The mob has always been right for me. I haven't been.
I want to see the mob be wrong.
Yeah. I don't think I've lost on this one yet. And if you lose, I think it's usually because people knock you off.
Yeah, I only lost because I tried to push somebody off, and they absolutely sauced me across the map.
The mob being wrong purposely is definitely some big pineapple energy.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
I hope to see it someday.
If you saw a tile with a bunch of pineapples on it, you know that's some
Stay
trouble
away.
going on. Second to last one, we got is Block Party. Avoid the walls and stay on the platform. This is the never-ending onslaught of different shapes and blocks and obstacles coming up from the slime, so you can't see it right away, and you gotta move to the appropriate location.
I don't think I've played this one.
Yeah, you have.
This doesn't sound familiar at all.
Yeah, your description doesn't convince me that I know what it is, even though I'm sure I've played it.
This is earlier today. I looked up. I just typed in Google Fall Guys maps or whatever, and this is literally just what. This is the thing that pops up when the game starts. Is avoid the walls and stay on the platform. It's got like the rainbow sides, and Tim, this is when like the shovel shaped thing with like the half rectangle. Would come and scoop a bunch of people off the back.
Not
This is
ringing
that
any
one.
bells.
No, you've played this one, Brian. I
It's
played it with you. I think you did only
Not
play it.
ringing
You
any
only played it
bells.
like once, but no, that's a good one. I'm in on this.
This is a pretty classic Wipeout style. Like
yeah, stuff's coming at
jump
you
and get through the yeah. This is a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. I recommend you go out and play this randomly selected map.
The last survival one is the solo player tail tag. Some players start with tails. Make sure you grab one when the time runs out. Yeah, this is a stinker too. The grabbing mechanic isn't great, and sometimes people are like really far away when they get it from you for some reason.
Yeah.
Big out.
And
Yeah, I'm out on this one. It's not very fun.
I'm out on this one too.
What's up next?
Next are the team games. There are 7. I don't know if we played much of the first one here, but it's Egg Scramble. Put the most eggs in your team's basket before the time runs out. This is a good time.
Yeah,
the first time Tim and I
only played it once, or I did.
Tim and I played it a few times. The first time we played it, I wasn't a fan, but the next couple of times, it really grows on you.
Yeah, it does.
There's a bunch of eggs in the center. There's 4 teams, and you bring them back to your like nest, and whoever has the least gets kicked out. But there's 3 golden eggs that are worth 5 points, and everyone just goes for those. And you can go in and steal eggs from the other team's nests, and just a lot of chaos going on.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. I'd say I'm in. The fact that it's team-based makes me not big in. It'd be kind of fun if everyone had their own nest. That'd be so chaotic. If it was like maybe like a final round type of game, that would be kind of fun. Or even a 2-player, like 2 teams of 2, like one's guarding the nest, the other's out there fighting for some.
Yeah, so something would be good.
Yeah.
But next is Rock and Roll. Push a giant ball through an obstacle course.
I love this one. It's the best
This
team one.
This one's hilarious.
We got the ultimate strat for this.
Don't share it, Nick. This is proprietary.
Yeah, we can't share it, but
give him a fake strat.
Everyone doesn't push the ball, and you win.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
We'll let our audience hear our strat. If there's say 6 of you on the team, you let 5 people push the ball, and one person goes all the way down to the end of your little course, and they wait for one of the other 2 teams to come down, and then you can block the ball and slow it up so the rest of your team can push yours to the finish. It's a good time.
It's a great time. Plus, you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen anyways with directing that ball to begin with, so it's good to get people away from it.
Yeah.
Space out a little. Yeah. What's up next?
Seeing the teamwork of red and blue versus yellow.
Yeah, yellow
holding their ball back.
Team yellow is just,
really just
ugh.
amazing.
When I'm on team yellow, you just hate to see it.
Next is fall ball. Score goals by rolling giant balls in your opponent's net. I'm out on this one. One of my least favorite.
Wait, is this
basically
a soccer?
soccer.
Yeah.
This one's great.
This one's I'm in.
Yeah, I am a hater. I'm out on it.
This one's really funny. I'd say in, not big in, but I like it.
Yeah, close to out. But
there's 2 soccer balls, and sometimes a football will fall, and sometimes a golden egg will fall.
Yeah, I know you like that.
I like the risk with the golden egg.
Yeah, you do.
But
all right. Well, what do we have next, kiddo?
team tail tag.
This one's the worst.
Make
Worst
sure your
one in the
team
game.
Make sure your team has more tails.
I'm big
by
out.
doing the same thing you did in solo tail tag.
Big out.
Yeah, out on this one.
Snoozer stinker.
Actually, the worst one in the game is the tail one that you play at the very end of the game, the final round one.
Oh yeah.
So
That's what I'll get.
All
I'll
the
get
tail
to
ones are trash.
we'll get to that.
I was about to snap. This one I only played once today. It's called Jinx, and it's make sure your opposing team is fully jinxed before yours. Basically, just infected.
Yeah, it's like infected from many other games. Yeah, I've only played this one
I
once.
think this
It's
one's
like,
pretty good. I'll say in. I only played it once.
it feels like you have no control, but I'm gonna go out for now until further notice.
There's skill on this one because when I was playing I was yellow. This is why I lost. It was yellow v blue, and the blue guys would just hold me. They would three of them would come gang up on me and hold me there until their infected blue guy would come over and get me, and they just kept doing that until they won.
Oh, that's a good strat. Wow.
Next up is Hoopsie Daisy. Jump and dive through the hoops to score more points for your team within a time limit.
I like this one a lot. For the team games, this is probably one of my favorites. I'm big in on this one. I just like jumping through hoops.
That's one of the better ones.
Maybe I'm a dolphin in a past life.
Yeah, big in. And the last team game is Hoarders. Keep the balls in your team's zone when the time runs out.
I don't think I've
We only
played this
a
either.
couple
I played it a
times,
few times, and I like it. It came up when I was playing
Yeah, it's pretty
this
good.
warm-up game before the cast today, and I enjoyed it.
It's very similar to the Egg Scramble, but just with giant balls instead.
Yeah. As far as team game
And then-
goes, it's pretty good.
The final battle, whenever the game decides it's okay to have a final round, which doesn't seem to be any sort of predictable path.
I've seen it happen with teams of 18, and one time there were 9 people left, and it said, "Oh no, you guys are playing soccer 5v4," when there were 9 people left.
Yeah, we had an 18-1. I had a 3-1 before we got on. There is no rhyme or reason to it. But there's a race, and it's called Fall Mountain. Race to the top of the mountain and grab the crown. This is just a nice classic race up to the top. What do you guys think about this one?
This one's very, very fun. High stakes.
I don't like it because there's
Yeah.
really it seems like there's only one way to get up. Like, there's the best way to get up, and then it doesn't seem like there's any room for creativity or making up ground, in my opinion. Also, if you're the first one up
Take the
and
best way.
the thing is out of reach, you are completely not rewarded for
You gotta wait for it to cycle
which
back.
gives literally everybody else enough time to get there. So it's kind of fun if you're in second place.
That's really
but,
funny. You lost.
Yeah, I actually
There's also a big glitch with this one where you can grab the crown but still not get
they already
credited with the
they
win.
fixed it.
Oh, they
Yep.
did? Good for them. They were getting a lot of hate on social media, and they didn't deserve it.
No, yeah,
Their social media team is pretty
yeah.
good.
First of all, the game is free for, I would assume, the majority of people are playing on PlayStation. So at least 50% of people are playing it for free right now. Second of all, it's like, this isn't,
it's an indie.
Devolver
indie game.
Digital is kind of big, but it's not. This isn't like first party or AAA or anything, and it's it looks like they're doing their best to keep up with it. It's day one, and they're clearly got way more people playing it than they anticipated. So I'm sure things will shake out over time.
But their Twitter page has some nice memes that they make.
They're very Wendy's in their Twitter style.
Wow, we've reached a point in human history where we can describe a business as Wendy's like with their social media content.
Yeah, and you know what it means.
And yeah, you do know what it means. And next up, probably the best final game is Hexagon.
Yeah, big in on this one.
Be the last player standing on the series of hexagonal platforms that disappear as you step on them.
Yeah.
This one feels like this has the most strategy and skill required throughout all the games, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. If you've played this game and you don't like Hexagon, uninstall your game. Don't play anymore. This is the most fun. I get so excited when I make it to the final round and it's this one instead of Fall Mountain or whatever, because it's just so much more fun. It feels like I actually have control. My palms get sweaty. I'm like,
ew.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
Yeah, there's vomit on my sweater already. And when
summer,
when there's a big jump and you hit the dive perfectly and you just make it and get up, and so we should probably explain what this is.
No.
Yeah. So you're on these little platforms, hexagon-shaped platforms, and
they're about to be hexagon.
yeah, it's kind of like those little blocks in Mario where when you stand on them, they start to fall. So you can only be on them for a little while, and the whole goal is, there's multiple layers of these hexagon circles, and you kind of just want to be the last one to fall all the way down.
Hold up. Did you say hexagon circles?
Yeah, the hexagons make up a circle.
Out.
They make up a circle. It's a circle made out of smaller hexagons. Am I wrong?
A circle is a interesting.
All right,
term
it's a round object made from hexagons. I don't know where I was, but that's the important info.
Definitely the best game though.
Yeah, big in on that one. I haven't won this mode yet.
It's the quintessential mode.
This is the one that we had 18 people on, so immediately all the tiles were just disappearing because there were just so many people. And before the cast, when I had 3 people left, I thought it was going to be hexagon, but it ended up being the very worst championship final game called Royal Fumble, and it's grab the tail and make sure you're wearing it when the time runs out. And there's one tail, and you just run around. And it's a pretty big map, and there's only 3 of us. So how are you supposed to catch them? I don't know.
Carefully.
Bad game there.
Yeah, I don't like any of the tail ones, so no thanks.
Yeah, big out. Big out.
Huge.
Big out on that, especially because I lost.
Huge. Bitter.
But that's all the game modes there, guys.
That's all she wrote. Yeah, so what are your overall impressions? What do you think of the aesthetic? What do you think of the customization options? All that stuff.
I do like their little, they got the battle pass. That's free for now. I mean, doesn't seem to be any indication that you're going to have to pay for that. And then they have their store where you can earn your credits in the game, which is fine, and buy all the little costumes, but you can also buy the credits. I don't have any problem with that since they're all cosmetic.
Yeah, maybe they'll change it, which, I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of companies tend to make the monetization much more aggressive as time goes on after the review period initially ends. But right now I'm swimming in currency. It seems like it's given out at a fairly judicious rate, so I have no qualms right there now, especially because I got it for free, and it does seem to be one of those live service type games where all the updates are obviously going to be free, and they kind of support, the development through microtransaction purchases. It seems like it's tastefully done. It seems like there's a lot of options. If you don't want to pay, it seems like you still have a lot you can do.
Yeah, you can still play the game and get all the battle pass offers you some cool stuff.
Yeah. So I like all the progression that you get through that. Just a nice little incentive. But overall, yeah, I like the aesthetic. I think the little people you play as, the little jelly bean shaped people, look very cute. They're pretty adorable. I like how they all have a very fun time the whole time. They're all just like, whee!
Every time you jump, there's woo!
They remind me of Minions, but less Facebook cringy.
Why did Minions get associated with boomer memes?
They just did. I don't know how. It got co-opted.
We should do a meme history podcast.
That already 100% exists probably.
This game is really good, and it's free. Very good, fun party game, unique.
Yeah,
I like to see this type of stuff in the multiplayer space to spice it up instead of everything being like a shooting game.
I agree.
Very enjoying it very much. I'll be interested to see the legs that it has, because it's innately not as competitive as something like Rocket League. But
yeah,
as a party chat game, it's very, very entertaining, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was laughing like crazy last night playing it. It's just cheerful. Very cheerful.
My voice still hurts a little bit from yelling.
Well, maybe
my family
stop
probably
yelling,
didn't appreciate that. It was very late last night.
Why don't you laugh?
Because I was losing. All right, that's it for today's episode. You can find us on Twitter at Pseudo Ludo Cat. Fuck. You can find us on Twitter at Pseudo Ludo Pod. You can find us on Instagram at Pseudo Ludo Cast. You can find us on YouTube and watch our stuff there too. Please check us out, support us, share
Rate
us.
5 stars.
Yeah, rate us only 5 stars. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.